In this lesson, I'm going to show you how to use an HTML form to collect information and send it off as an email to somebody. Now this needs to be done on a server. We can't do this locally. And even on the server, there has to be special mail software installed, like SendMail is one of the more popular ones that PHP can be hooked up to. So PHP's mail function, that I'll show you in a moment, can work properly. It works through that. So it gives you a wrapper. It's an API to that other program. So here I have a simple HTML file set up. Send to Mary at gmail.com. Please don't send an email to her. I don't know if there's a Mary at gmail.com. There probably is, and we don't want to send her emails unnecessarily. So, hi there is the subject. How's it going, Mary is the body. My cat is fine, Steve. All right, so a real simple message. Now, I'm not going to bother clicking this because while I tested this program out on my own, I have redone the email addresses and the code that I'm going to show you. So let's go back and show you the code now. Here's the HTML code. You can see it's a form tag, and I'm calling the send email PHP program that I wrote. And these are just the form fields that you saw. Remember that the message itself is actually a text area with 11 rows and 60 columns, so we can put in a multi-line thing for the body of the email. So it doesn't do anything more than that. Let's go to the PHP code itself. Let's go up to the top here. We collect the data, first name, subject, message, to email, and then I run a function called send email to somebody. Pass the data. And then I put out just a heading that says an email has been sent to my first name. Okay, let's look at the function. Okay, I have here to Mary@yahoo.com. I did that when I was testing, so I'm not going to do that this time. This time, I'm going to take out Mary@yahoo.com and put in to email, because that's what I passed. I passed to email to this program, so I don't have to be explicit about who I'm sending this email to. I will have the information sent to the function from the form. All right, save that. So I set up a subject line, $subject. I have graded your my subject, my first name. Well, since I was using this as a grading program, I would usually make the subject like assignment 3 or assignment 4. I've graded your assignment for Mary. So that message would display in the subject line. Right now, we haven't put it on the subject line. We've just created a variable that will hold that message. I'll show you how to get that on the subject line in a moment. Here, I have the body being built. I'm adding to it message and my message. This is the thing that came in over here. And I just put a message colon in front of it. Now notice I used new lines, not breaks in HTML, because I'm going to be inside the body of a text email. So it will behave a little bit like a simple text editor. And I build it in the $body variable. Now I built up a message from, the instructor, stevetest@profperry.com. Okay? So it's a bogus email, but I put that in. Now this is what the person is going to see. They're going to see that this is who sent the email to them. Really, the system sent it, but it's going to appear to be as if it came from that. However, I may not want the replies to this email to come back to this account. I may want them to go someplace else. If I do, I specify a return to variable. And you put a hyphen here, and I put the return to email. The return to is steveclass@profperry.com. I could have used the same thing if that's all right, but I can make it so when they hit reply, it sets it up to go to this email instead. Now, here's what PHP gives you. Just that. It gives you mail, to, subject, body, from, and return to. Actually, you don't normally have to specify the return to, but I find it quite useful to control that. Let's go over to php.net real quick. And I'm going to look for the word mail. And it actually brings me to a little lesson on mail here. So I'll click on the introduction, and I'm going to go to the mail function itself. So this is what I was just doing. The first string is the to, who are we sending it to? The second string is the subject, then the message. That's all that's required. There are additional headers and additional parameters that can be set, and I set the return to one. That works well with SendMail. So look this over, look at the php.net, look at the information that's provided there, And there are other sources, especially a SendMail book or SendMail information on the internet when you set this up for yourself. And when you do, you want to make sure that only people who you want to use the form are using it, and that it's not open up to a security hack where some other company can figure out, I can pass these parameters to this guy's program, and I'm going to be able to send mail from their server. So security is a whole nother issue. I'll talk a little bit about this in another lesson, but this is not a security class, so we're just going to give you some beginning tips on things to look out for. If your risk level is high, if there are money or lives on the line, you want to spend a lot of time making your website secure as well.